Very good. So we're going to wait for him now, and then we will begin. So I sent the link to him already, so he's going to be joining us very soon, and we're going to begin. Mr. Joshua is really very insightful, and I think it's someone that really I believe he has so much context when it comes to political sector, and it's really a good privilege to actually know someone like him to as well, be of a change agent in the political sector. So I believe this section is going to be very powerful, and it will really help a whole lot of people, especially young people who want to get involved in politics, but somehow do not know how to go about it. And yeah, so let's hold on a while. Let me see. Okay. 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 So I'm trying to not to make prolong this, but we're just gonna wait for him to join us. I think there's an issue with the network. Okay. Joshua just arrived. Mr. Gifted Mathins, thanks for joining. Okay, so I'm going to be adding Mr. Joshua now, and then he will begin. Let's go. Okay. Okay. Hello, sir.
Hello, my brother. Good afternoon.
Is it good evening or good afternoon? Good afternoon. Yes, it's actually good afternoon.
Whichever, good evening, good afternoon.
Man, this year, the network is very good. Very, very good. Last year was very bad.
It was very, very bad last year.
Thanks
How
so
are you,
much,
sir? It's
bro.
good to be with you, sir.
Thank you
Yes,
so much. Thank you so much. Thanks for accepting this. Thank you so much. So,
you're welcome.
the floor is yours.
Miracle. The thing there is when when you reached out and you were like, um, these are challenging times, and whereby we can't stop engaging as young people, as a nation, as individuals. And I do say something. People say we talk too much in Nigeria, but if talking is going to solve our problems, why not? Let's keep talking. With that, we can birth few revolutionary ideas from from talking and all. Uh, you know, I took time to go through the topic at hand. So people, they might not really understand what this topic really entails because, I mean, just as we discussed last year, in one of our sessions, you know, the politics is from the scratch to the top, not from the top to the scratch. It has always been about the grassroots. And in fact, some of the world leaders that we admire today, that we see today, they all started from the grassroots. If we are going to have stories to be told, if we are going to give people hope, you need to go back to your roots, your background. We need to trace where you're coming from. That is why community organizing is very important. And that's why I'll quickly give kudos to Ayodeji Abanta, if I'm not mistaken. He's a community organizer in Lagos. I mean, it goes beyond just taking pictures and posting online. Community organizing, it's from the hearts. With community organizing, you can fight corruption. With community organizing, you can arrange the right voters. With community organizing, you can put your community in order. With community organizing, you can get your message passed across to your leaders. Now the question is, what is community organizing? Yeah. It's putting the right action in place to make sure that things work in your community. It's putting the right action in place. That is community organizing. Right action like what? Education, politics, water, establishment of food banks, and so on and so forth. While community organizing is actually putting the essentials in place, we must understand that young people, we haven't fully tapped into the idea of community organizing. We just feel because we have a passion for politics or we have a passion for leadership and we just boycott the area of community organizing. You need to be known in your community. What do you stand for? Barack Obama is not Barack Obama today because of he give good oratory. No. We traced back his story to Chicago, Illinois, when he started as a community organizer in his community, going from house to house, doors to doors, making sure that the lights are running, that the waters are going through each neighborhood, making sure that that the district is effective. And it started from somewhere, and we need a story. Where are you coming from? That is the importance of community organizing and all. But the kind of community organizing we have in this our dispensation is the community organization whereby from the top, they will send you one money from Abuja and just help us create. No, that isn't community organizing at all. And the truth is, most of the problems we face today in our politics as a state is from the grassroots. That is the truth. The problems we face today in our community, rather in our country as a whole, which is affecting our foreign policy, it's affecting our international relations, it's affecting our diplomacy strategy among the international communities, is as a result of the problems from the grassroots. The honest truth is, you don't plant a tree from the top, you take
Wow.
it from the roots. You take it from the roots. Then you begin to water it, you begin to feed it with sunlight. I mean, I think the whole process is called photosynthesis, if I'm not mistaken, and all. So you don't take it from the top, you take it from the grassroots. This is why community organizing is effective. If we are going to have good leaders, if we are going to have good politics, politics of hope, not politics of cynicism, I mean politics of real hope, we have to start from this community. 3 years ago, I moved to Ekiti from Lagos. I was brought up in Lagos, but I felt useless. I mean, Lagos is occupied, and the truth is, nobody will leave Lagos for
Exactly.
you to fight. It is a competitive environment. You know this very well. Lagos is a competitive environment. So nobody will leave their space for you to come in between and fill it up. So I felt there was this pungent smell that I need to leave Lagos. I must leave my comfort zone if I want to put my name on history. Mind you, it's not about putting my name on history, it's about doing the right thing because of history. And I remembered I left Lagos to Ekiti without no connections, nobody. But I knew what I was coming to do here. I've been visiting on subsequent occasions and all. And the truth is, every time I come to Ekiti and I pass through our governor's office, I don't know anybody there. I used to say to myself, I was like, Joshua, you'll be there one day. I don't know how. But the honest truth is, you have to start from the scratch. Let me tell you this quick story. How I got my first job in the governor's office, working with the special assistant to the governor of youth and student matters, Honorable Moses Ademiloye, to the governor of Ekiti State. It was just one single idea. Just one. We started a food bank in our community. I drafted out a blueprint for the food bank. It was effective. And through the help of someone, he had to proofread the blueprint. He saw that this blueprint was healthy. It's a way of solving problems in my community, right? How can we create enough food? How can we prevent wastage in my community, and people who don't have will begin to have for a little or without no efforts? You can easily go to a registered food bank with your food bank card. Okay, for the week you have your rice, you have your provisions to sustain for the week and all. We had a good structure, and I was introduced to meet with the SA, to the governor. And he was like, did you come up with this blueprint? I said, yes, I did. I'm from Lagos. I served in Ikeja Alausa. I mean, but Ikeja Alausa was occupied. We had young, yes, we had young people doing amazing things in Ikeja Alausa. You can't compete with such environment. There was a pungent need to leave Lagos to come to Ekiti. I mean, talking of looking at local communities in Ekiti, Erasa, you don't know these places, Iworoko. We have hardship there. Those places, they need solutions. And when I got to Ekiti State, I discovered we have also young people who are also doing the hard work of change in community organization in their various local governments. Miracle, it will amaze you that these people, you meet with them, you talk to them, they will give you hope. They know what is at stake. And that idea was tabled to the SA, and he said, will you love to work with me? I said, who am I not to? I mean, I'm yours. I mean, I'm yours without, I don't need to beg on Godfather. I don't need to prostrate or to pay or to do something. Just the power of a single idea. The power of community. There is so much power in community than what we think. In community gives us hope. A hope for a better future. That was how I got my first job. As a community organizer here in Ekiti, down to the governor's office. Now, I mean, what I really want to trash out in this our conversation is this miracle. For us to have good leadership, we have to take it back to our communities. Because one of the ways to prevent corruption, to prevent ballot snatching, one of the ways to actually have credible leaders, they need to have a story in their community. It's okay to travel out for exposure. It's okay to travel out for global perspective. It's okay. But do you know what is not okay? What is not okay is abandoning your community and embezzling wealth, and because you can buy those people with your wealth, you feel you can stay at the top, and when it is time to contest for election, you come down to your community because you have the money. Yes, you win the election because you have the money, but the fault is on we in the community. But why can't we just recognize our own people? We eat together, we sleep together, we are being beaten by mosquito, we fetch water together, we stay under one roof, and we see leadership qualities in you. We can point fingers at you that, look, you are representing us in this next election. because we know you. You are closer to us, and we are going to root for you. You don't even need to have money. You don't need to bribe us. You know what you are facing as a people in this state. A friend of mine told me something. Said, Joshua, you can't see Ekiti from outside. You have to be inside to understand how
Wow.
Ekiti works.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Yes, I mean, I don't have regrets, but the honest truth is, I'm a young man, you know, and as serious as I am, and also I have my social life, which I keep private. But this date, you find out that in community organization, in community organizing, you are left with no social life because you are always occupied. Because we have problems every day. Miracle, I can tell you, I wanted to taste how poverty looks like. I went to a private school, Joseph Abiola University. So I know what it means to have a good education. I mean, I had the best of lecturers. I stayed in a very good hostel, no crowd. We were always buying, yes, I mean, we always buying our food in the cafeteria with our meal tickets. So you don't have to struggle, unlike the state university or the federal university. You run from one year to one faculty. I didn't go through those stress. I haven't really struggled much for anything, but I needed to understand how these people feel. Here's what I did. 2018, when I came into advocating, I went to a community in Iworofo. I've been going on several occasions. I became familiar with this community. And I said, okay, today, I'm going to eat with this particular family. I know them. I collected a number back then. And I'm still in touch with them today, funny enough. And all. I collected a number. We got chatting and talking. And I called. I said, Baba, Mawa Kinlini. And all. Meaning, Baba, I'll come and greet you today. I came and you wouldn't believe it. I entered into a mud house for the first time in my life. I looked at the bed they were sleeping, the mosquito nets on the window, the sand on the floor, partly German, you know. The plates were not even ceramics or plastic. I mean, but they were plates. I mean, spoon, not bottled water, pure water, really. I ate with them. I dined with them. But do you know what I noticed, Miracle? In the midst of those troubles, they were happy. They were laughing. I was laughing with them, but they don't know what I was thinking deep down. In my head, I was like, how are you able to find joy in this place? There's so much suffering in the land, Miracle. When you go to these communities, the question you ask yourself is, where is hope? Who will help these people? These people, they don't even have a foresight of what tomorrow looks like. And it's easier to win an election there. Because when you go there with 10, 20 million naira and you give people 20,000 naira that they've not even seen in 1 month, and you give them like one bag of rice or half bag of rice and something they don't really see every day, when you give it to them, no way you will win their votes. You will. But the honest truth is, when we have young people who are passionate about their community, you don't have to live there, but create a mark there. You could start with having a lesson, a tutorial there. From tutorial, you could start with, creating games, clubs for them. From there, you could start with anything to just create a sense of engagement. By so doing, you need to pass your message across. You need to start enlightening them. You need to start making them understand how politics, how it works really. And mind you, it's very difficult to speak English to most of these people. Exactly. Apart from the state capital, which is people have a very demeaning mindset about Ekiti State. But trust me, Ekiti State is not what people think it is. We have life going on here. We have amazing people doing the hard work of change. We have wealthy people here. We have global shapers here. I do say something that we live in a distant capital city, but it still doesn't simply mean that our thinking is distant. We have this global mindset.
Wow.
So we're not just a state of people, of farmers carrying their hoe and cutlasses and going to the farm. We have civic innovators here. We have community organizers here. But what's more beautiful about my state and Ekiti state is that every young people, they are closer to their community, even though they stay in the capital city. And that is why election period in Ekiti state is always very tough. Why? Because we have leaders who they grew up in this community, they know the in and out. So take it or leave it. When you and I, we grew up from the same community and we are not far away from home and we come home to run for election, I mean, there will be this tussle for credibility, not tussle for power. That okay, you guys were home when you guys were small. What did you do to tackle this kind of challenges when you had the opportunity to? Miracle, we can begin to talk about community organizing from today to tomorrow. But I'll say something. When you read The Audacity of Hope by Barack Obama, and you begin to ponder today, now why is it that guy speaks and people cry? Why we want man sit down and speak for 2 hours and speak for 2 hours without people dozing off, without people complaining, but paying attention? It's simply because he understood the problem in his community. If you can understand the problem in your community, you can understand the problem in your state, then you can understand the problem in your nation. The quote says, he said, one voice can change a room. If it can change a room, it can change a city. If it can change a city, it can change a nation. If it can change a nation, it can change the world. You're with me? When you understand this problem, it will be easier for you to even read, or rather to talk without reading from papers. Now, when you look at most of our politicians, they don't understand these problems. They don't understand what you and I are going through in our community, how it is difficult for us to get lights, how it's difficult for us to queue at the filling station to get fuel. They sit down up there and they get everything. They do. But we are here at the grassroots. We are here, we see the suffering, we understand, and we know how to solve this we know how to solve this problem if we are given the opportunity to do so. Miracle. I mean, I know you have some questions. I'm going to leave you to ask me some questions, but let me drop with this. Miracle. I, for once, have said something. I've said to myself, and I do say to my friends and people around, I don't think I'm leaving this state anytime soon. I don't think. Yes, I might get the opportunity to travel out, to gain exposure, to learn. I'm coming here. I don't know about you.
Okay, I'm enjoying this section, really. I'm really enjoying this section. Very powerful section. So I think we're having a little bit of Mr. So let's just wait for him, and then I'm really enjoying this. This is a very powerful section. Very powerful section. He said some point which I took notes of. It says, if we can understand the problem in our community, we can understand the problems we are facing as a nation. Okay.
Yes, Miracle. So yeah, that was network. Yes. I mean, as I was saying, your ideas might not really thrive in Lagos until you leave your comfort zone. I'm a living testimony. I add these ideas day and night. I sleep with it, and there is no way to execute it until I identified just one problem in my community. And we have young people who are still identifying. I'm not leaving this state anytime soon because I've seen my people. I've seen what we can do to improve the standard of living. I mean, Miracle, to amaze that day to day, many are in as much as the governor is trying his best. I'm telling you, I'm not saying this because I belong to APC or PDP. No. But when we understand that the challenges we face are real. And they are serious and they are many. And these challenges, we won't solve it in one single term or 2 terms.
Exactly.
It's the continuous process. In as much as there is pain, there is anger, there is violence in the land. But what we must not fail to do is that when we see what is good, let's say the governor is trying in his own way. He is trying, he is communicating, he is giving, he is doing a lot of things that people are not really seeing right now. But it's there. People are not seeing because people are hungry. And when you are hungry, you are going to be blind. Then you need to be fed for your eyes to be open. You need to. So people are not seeing because they are blind. They are hungry. I understand. I am hungry, really. I mean, not the hungry. I'm hungry for change. I'm hungry for good governance. I'm hungry for good leadership. You're with me? So, I'm not leaving the States anytime soon. And my advice to young people out there is this: carve a niche for yourself. As much as you want to stay on the island, you want to tour around in Lagos. Yes, you want to tour around the world. I do say something. I can travel out and spend 2 months, but this is my roots. Because I feel if I travel out over there, I give birth, I settle down with my family, I work 4 to 4, 2 jobs and all. Miracle, I will still feel empty. There is something I need to release out of me. People need to tap something. They can't tap it from Canada. They can't tap it from UK. I'm not saying it is bad to go out or to travel. You can travel for picnics, for holidays, for vacation. It's okay. But do you know it's not okay? What is the, you can travel there to source of fund, to get jobs, just to be financially buoyant. But what is not okay is to stay there for years and forget your roots.
Wow.
So Miracle, I leave you with that.
Wow. Sure. You know, while you were talking, I almost wanted to cry. I almost wanted to cry. I said, no, no, no. This is live, right? I should really hold this. And I want to say thank you for this because for me, before you joined, I was saying something that it gives me great joy to know people like you, not because of being influential, but because of the fact that we have the heart that is needed to actually bring the change that people really want. And that fact that there is hope. You know, last year I still remember those very words of yours. Qualities of hope, and I think that is what is really needed right now. Because the truth is, the change we need wouldn't come in just a minute, in just an hour, in just a few years. I feel it's a generational thing. So each generation comes, plays their role effectively, and then it goes. So now my question is this: you know, this, like you said the community organization is hard. It's not something that someone can just stand up and then say they want to really just start doing.
Yeah.
How can young people who are brainwashed by wrong beliefs about community organization. So now some of them do this community organization with the motive that they want to actually gain power. So now, how can we change those wrong beliefs by the ones who have the right beliefs, but are not giving room for them? I think if you've been in Lagos before, so you can see some of those things. It's very easy. You can see some of them here in Lagos here. So what advice would you give to young people that have experienced such things? Because I believe that they are good and bad. And we have to learn to actually coexist with each other and that's actually bring the change that we really need.
Thank you, Miracle. In as much as they are good and bad, I will say something. We must have this sense of purpose. In short, I don't want to believe that there is nobody on this surface of the earth without purpose. Take it or leave it. Either rich, poor, middle class, sick. I mean, a sick person, one of his or her purpose is to make sure that he or she uses their medications to get well. A mad person also have his own purpose. Is that I might be mad, but I must survive also. I must not, yes, whereby you see mad people, they look left and right before they cross. That's purpose. You have a destination.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's purpose. So I don't want to believe that there is nobody on the surface of this earth that doesn't have a purpose. But you see, we have visionaries, but what we don't have is executors. We have people with vision, but we don't have enough people who can execute visions. Look, you can be in Lagos and you are a native of Ondo and your community is Ondo Akoko or Ikari Akoko, and you are thinking that you don't know anybody in Ikari Akoko, then how do you travel from this place? Your story is different from my story. We all co-founded to that. I mean, the question is, within your community in Lagos, what are you doing? How often do you go for landlord meeting or tenant meeting? That's community organizing. Last year during the COVID-19, when it was seriously hard and whereby the government restricted traveling, I had to leave Ekiti down to Ibadan. to stay with my elder sister because it was scary. It all appears like the whole world was about coming to an end. And I remember every morning I wake up, I go outside, I look at the cloud, if it's open already. I mean, you know this religion mentality. I mean, or in the night I go out to check the stars, if the stars is not, if they are not falling, because it appears that the world was actually going to come to an end, mind you, and all. But the question is, I mean, not even question. And during that period, I don't know anybody in the community. My elder sister, she said, Joshua, look, I'm an immigration officer. I'm a respected person in this community, and I know someone like you. You want to understand where you are. You want to get involved. Please just take it easy. I said, okay, no problem. Yeah. And I remember during that period, they said 1 million boys. They wrote a letter to some communities that they were coming. They
Yeah.
wrote to one community where I was in Ibadan with my elder sister, and it was scary. But do you know what is interesting? I saw what was possible when imagination is joined with a common purpose. Miracle. I saw the strength of young people at midnight with different weapons without the police, because they know that we have to defend ourselves. This sense of unity was around the community, that look, we are not losing one single person in this community as a result of the violence of these boys, of these 1 million boys who have threatened this community, that are coming to rob and kill and all. And guess what? I wanted to come out, and my other sister was like, no, Josh, you can't. I didn't go out to fight, because I mean, I can't even throw a punch, really. But here's what I did. For every meeting they had in the evening, I was there to listen. And I saw how people were bringing ideas. Let's mount this community. Let's go to this place. Let's reach out to other community. Let them stay here. That is imagination with a common purpose. I didn't just leave. I didn't leave Lagos to Ekiti. My friends asked me today, there is nothing in Ekiti, Joshua. I mean, we don't have top buildings, there's no skyscrapers, we don't have that life we have in Lagos, on Island, in Lekki, Admiralty, Chevron. We don't have anything of such here. Why? I mean, what are you doing in Ekiti? Why Ekiti? I do say something. I didn't choose Ekiti. Ekiti chose me. Ekiti what? Ekiti chose me. My advice to young people is this. We all have ambitions. Either to become a politician. I do say something. My greatest achievement is not to become a politician, miracle. That's my greatest achievement. My greatest achievement is not to become a politician. I mean, we all have achievement, but this is my greatest achievement. My greatest achievement in the next, even after retirement or anything, is this: that a young boy from Kutuwenji, or a young boy from Kafancha, or a young boy from Ondo, or anywhere in the country, can sit down and quote my word verbatim, word for word. I mean, that is my greatest achievement. When you look at today, I have a dream. Most of us were not giving birth to. We don't even know Martin Luther King Jr. But today we can quote his word verbatim, word for word. That is achievement. That is the greatest impact. Not putting on my cap and my kaftan, patrolling with escorts and all. And that is one thing I love about the past governor of Ekiti State, Fayoshi. He can decide to leave the governor's office and wear face cap and follow and just pick up a bike without escorts, and is going to the street to buy corn or eat amala somewhere else without escorts. Yeah. That is the kind of leadership we want, miracle. This is my advice to young people out there, is this. I know you have a purpose. As much as you have a purpose, take your purpose home. If it doesn't thrive in the city, take your purpose home. It's very important. Take your purpose home. Either you have an ambition, either you want to become the Attorney General, you want to become the special advisor, or whatever thing you have, or whatever thing you want to become. Take it to the grassroots. That is my idea. That is my advice for young people, Miracle. Thank you very much, Miracle. Thank you. I think the network is breaking from my end here. Sorry. Second. Come, let me just check the quality of this
Okay,
Wi-Fi.
can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Okay. Yes, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Okay, very
Yes.
good, very good. So I'm saying thank you so much, really. Thank you so much. It's really, for
Thank you.
me,
Thanks so much.
I'm really, I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful for this opportunity because I'm looking at an opportunity, a system, or a time where young leaders like you will come together and we would actually have a meeting where we can actually impact young people. But for me, one of the things I fear the most is really not about infrastructure development, but it's really about the infrastructure of the mind for people. Because really, for me, I feel there's nothing you can do if the people's mind really cannot even carry it. And with how you've spoken today, I have so much hope, so much hope. And I think this is what I'll know you for. The politics of hope, this is what I will know you for. So thank you so much, Mr. Joshua. I'm really, really grateful for this,
I'm
really, really
very
grateful.
grateful for the honor, Miracle. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Please keep
Really
doing
grateful.
what you are doing. We are watching. We are
Thank you
following.
so much. Thank
And
you
God
so
help
much.
you.
Thank you so much. Okay, Mr.
Thank you
Joshua.
very much.
Nice
All right.
meeting
Thank you
you.
very much.
Thank you so much
Thank you very
again.
much.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Okay,
Have a
now,
wonderful day.
bye.
All right, sir.